Alex LaRosa here, and today I want to talk again about 401ks. This time, I want to talk about how your 401k is invested. Now, this is something that I see a lot when I'm working with friends, family, younger investors who are either just setting up their 401ks or haven't been in their 401ks for a long time, and that is that they have no idea how their 401k is invested. So I usually do a little bit of digging, and I find out that most of the time they're invested in the default option of a target date fund. Now, what is a target date fund? It's a fund that is supposed to match the risk tolerance of younger investors and creates a glide path to get more and more conservative as that individual becomes close to retirement. They usually come with a year attached to them. So someone like myself, who's 33, I would be invested in a target date fund that had 2055 on it, right? And I would have more of an allocation towards equities than I do bonds now. And as the time went on, more and more money would go into bonds, thus becoming more conservative as I got closer to retirement. Now, the problem with these funds is they may be leaving money on the table. And today I want to look at a study done by a professor of finance at Villanova who found 3 red flags considering these target date funds. The first is long-term underperformance. So he did some digging and he matched it up against just staying in the S&P 500, right? And he found that over a 50-year period, these target date funds would bring in an underperformance of around 21%. Now, 21% would make a big difference in the amount of money you would be retiring with, right? So that's something to consider. The second red flag is high fees. So these funds charge both direct and indirect fees. The indirect fees are the fees of the funds that the fund invests in. I know that sounds confusing, but usually to make up the target date fund managers select other mutual funds to create the allocation they are targeting. And the study found that 37% of these target date funds are using more expensive classes of funds, and the fees are very opaque, and they're very hidden. So that's obviously a red flag. The third red flag is lack of accountability, right? So a lot of mutual funds out there, they get inflows and outflows, right? So the better the performance, they usually get inflows. The worse the performance, they get outflows, right? Thus, holding them accountable to their investments. Target date funds don't really have that because they receive a steady flow of cash because people usually just have it set up in their 401k. They don't think about it, so the fund managers are not punished nor are they rewarded. And this kind of creates a lack of accountability in both the fees selecting and the fund selection, right? So those are the 3 red flags that the professor found. Personally, what I don't like about target date funds is it assumes that everyone's risk tolerance is the same. You know, every 30-year-old should have the same allocation. If you've watched my stuff before, if you've read my blogs, you know that I believe everyone has a unique risk profile, right? That encaptures a bunch of things, right? Time horizon, the need for risk, the gut, right? The ability to absorb risk. So everyone's allocations shouldn't look the same. Just because I'm a 30-year-old doesn't mean I should have the same allocation as every other 30-year-old. I might be able to assume more risk, right? So that's one of the reasons. And, I believe that if you look at all the 401k options, you can usually find a better allocation in there. If you just look at your investment options, do some research, and you should be able to find low fee funds that give you direct access to what you're looking for and can match your risk tolerance. I always recommend working with an advisor here who can look at the fund fees for you and give you a recommended allocation. We do that for our clients, so if that's something you're interested in, we do it. It's complimentary. Give us a call. But yes, that's today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.